Monday 20th of August, Guy Taylor's funeral's today at 1:30, Hereford Crematorium, so I'll be heading off there in a bit. Daily Mirror. Tory pledge in pieces as more patients put in mixed wards. By design. Parasite alert, new royal shock, Meghan off to USA to see mum, fears Duchess may not meet estranged dad to heal their rift. When they've got nothing else to put in the papers, chuck a royal in and make some shit up. The Guardian. I've always had a superhero complex. Rolf Little on acting, angst and life as a social media warrior. Bob Mackie designs Shear's most memorable looks. G4S stripped of right to run squalid jail. The inertia that seems to be gripping both those delivering and monitoring the contract has led to one of our top jails slipping into crisis. Oh, we better let the G4S run the police then, haven't we? No, they already do. And there's bad shit at that, as they are looking after jails. I hope their share prices fall through the floor. Tory alert over UKIP entryism risk to party. And the picture, I'm lucky to be alive. Britain's 10 hours adrift after fall from cruise ship. Yeah, very lucky to be alive then. The scum. Hammer rampage. A man aged 27 was being held on 2 counts of attempted murder last night after 2 women were left critical following a hammer attack in Greenwich South East London. Shimmy and Susanna. Brit's miracle survival. Kay plunges off back of liner, rescued after 10 hours in sea. Crew's a lucky girl. Telegraph. MPs lobby for expenses increase to cover Brexit. Members demand a bigger staffing budget to account for their heavier workload. Yeah, you did hear that correct. Those thieving scumbag traitors want more money. What they need is a jail term. Brit survives 10 hours lost at sea after falling from cruise ship. England's worst prison to be taken over by the government. From one crooked criminal cartel to another then. UK to give EU migrants right to stay even if in a no-deal scenario. I've got no problem with that. As long as they are from the EU. Because if they're not from the EU, in other words, that's not where they were born, they can go back where they come from. Oxford Don told to go to improve diversity. Trump calls probe a McCarthy witch hunt. We're the rotters who did for the otters. Johnson. Criminals buying guns via legal loophole. Is this the end of the fly and flop holiday? Probably not. Express. Cliff the paedophile. My new tour will be therapy. Anyone that goes to see him supports paedophilia. Miracle as British woman survives 10 hours in sea. Millions fail to save for old age. Shock survey reveals 9 out of 10 not saving enough for social care. And I wonder why that is. Oh, let me think. Oh, because they haven't got enough to live off at the moment anyway, so they can't even afford to put it away for the future. All by design, by the criminal government. Parasite, how I cannot risk speaking to Dad. Star. Billy's tragic battle. Stormy. Why I quit. No one would sleep with me. Kursoff strictly strikes again. Fans fume as top celebs stare away over split up fears. Oh, get a life. Dear, oh dear. Metro. Jamie in rice row. Labour MP accuses chef of cultural appropriation with jerk recipe. What, you think Jamaicans are the only one that can do jerk anything? Well, guess what? You're not. Get over it. Spacey's film takes just $126 at box office. If that's, I don't know if that's thousand or what, but I'm glad. Megan's solo trip abroad. 60 seconds with John Thompson. Alive after 10 hours overboard. Miracle rescue of cruise ship Britain. Aye. Quality, concise, the future of unindependent journalism. You got to start off with a laugh when you read that sort of junk, don't you? Lucky to be alive. Woman who fell from cruise ship saved after 10 hours at sea. Tory fears over takeover. Ex-UKippers in bid to seize control of party. Taking Liberty, the story behind the design house. In need of a laugh, best jokes at the Edinburgh Fringe revealed. Warning on GCSE marking. Results out this week are being distorted by exam regulator, says expert on assessment. Students will be given entirely new ranking in biggest overall for a generation. Examinations were made far tougher to drive up standards, but pass rates will remain same. In other words, well, you didn't do so well, but we're going to keep the pass rates the same because we want it to look like we're actually doing something of value, even though we're not. We're just indoctrinating you into the system. But you know, hey ho. Independent. Margaret Hodge is quite the narcissist. Okay. The workers who queue at food banks, just as the government want. Posh white men get the second chance. Ford's stark warning to British politicians, and again up the top there, final say in red. Now disease threatens flooded Kerala. Spike in UK girls forced into marriage abroad. Ministers accused of failing to deal with worrying trends because they want that sort of terrible stuff to go on. You've got to watch that Europa, the biggest fight or the last fight or whatever. Oh, it's absolutely amazing. The Times. How to avoid career burnout. Sweet dreams. Scientists find perfect recipe for healthier cakes. Britain scraps controversial aid to Syrian rebel areas. Emergency takeover of chaotic Birmingham jail. Government steps in as watchdog condemns appalling violence and squalor at G4S run prison. Everything they have wants taking from them because they couldn't run a piss up in a brewery, as evidence there. If you're off to Guy's funeral, I'll see you down there.